Hi, this is Kendra.
This is Olivia.
This is Lindsay.
And this is our music Oddcast. Today we're going to be talking about Sid and Nancy.
Okay. Sid Vicious was born John Simon Ritchie in 1957. His mother moved to Ibiza shortly after Ritchie was born. His mom, Ann Beverly, who looked a lot like the actress who plays Catelyn Stark. I don't know if anybody else noticed that.
That's legit.
She used him to smuggle drugs when he was a toddler. In 1971.
Wow.
I know. Great start. He and his mother moved to East London. That's where he met John Lydon in 1973 while they were students at Hackney Technical College. Around this time, I thought this was kind of interesting. Chrissy Hind from The Pretenders tried to convince both John and... I'm going to start calling him Sid now because we talked about how his name is John, but John Lydon.
Yeah. Right.
It's going to get confusing.
Yeah.
So John and Sid were both asked if they would marry her so she could get a work permit.
I read something about that too. Yeah.
That's dope. They should have done it.
I know.
Can you imagine how, none of this would have happened?
Right.
Oh, shit.
Very true. Okay, so Sid started playing in bands in 1976. This is also when he started forming his punk rock persona and acting out, getting in fights, throwing glasses and bottles at shows.
Yeah, I was, so he was supposed to be the singer of The Damned. And then they said, oh, well, he didn't show up to the audition. But he kind of tried to spin it as oh, they didn't tell me where it was, or they were withholding the audition from me. So then he went to a Damned show and he tried to throw a glass at the actual singer, and it shattered on a pillar and bounced back, and it partially blinded an audience member.
Oh my
Oh my God.
Some girl that was in the audience. Yeah.
Punk as fuck. No, I was kidding.
Yeah, he was just pissed because he thought that they were purposely trying to
Leaving him out.
Yeah, leaving him out.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So the Pistols formed in 1972, didn't really take off until John Lydon, a.k.a. Johnny Rotten, was discovered by manager Malcolm McLaren in 1975. The band was signed by EMI in 1976, and Sid joined the band in 1977 after then-bassist Glenn Matlock left the band. He was asked to join mostly because he was at all of their shows, and then also Malcolm McLaren said that he was described as having the iconic punk rock look.
Right, and I've always kind of heard about that. Did the Sex Pistols form themselves, or was it kind of a put together band?
Because you said 1972, right? Was that
Yeah.
Did they already kind of have the image and stuff, or was that later with?
I think that it, really became a punk rock image when John Lydon joined the band. That's at least from what I was reading.
That makes sense.
Because people would always kind of give them shit for being manufactured and
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, yeah. Definitely always heard that rumor.
And McLaren also said in several interviews that he would have asked Sid to be the singer if he would have met him first, because he thought that he had more of the whole look and attitude to go along with it. But Johnny Rotten seems like he has a lot of the attitude.
Yeah.
Gross.
I agree.
Yeah. And then he did a lot of stuff after that. He did fine.
Everything that I found said that he wasn't much of a bassist.
No.
That he didn't even know how to play
a shit
before.
musician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to play drums in a couple other bands, so I don't know if he actually could play the drums and it was just bass. I think one of them requires a lot more technical, so I don't know.
I always think it's funny. Yeah. So that also kind of goes back to the whole we found this guy. He's this pretty boy that's got a rough cut, attitude. And so you can play bass, right? Yeah, no, of course you can. Here you go. You're in the band now.
Yeah.
It'd be funny. Just thinking about all the bands that all of us have been in. Can you imagine if that's how it worked? I guess it could have sounded the same for some of the earlier stuff for sure.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Okay. Steve Jones, the guitarist, actually played most of the bass parts on their debut album. One, because he couldn't really play, and two, because he was actually in the hospital due to hepatitis from drug use.
Yeah, they let him play on Bodies, I think, but then that was like the only song they let him play on, but then I think they ended up just like overdubbing it anyway. Yeah.
Okay, the band started their U.S. tour in January of 1978, which only lasted 2 weeks, and that's mostly due to McLaren's interference and Sid's growing heroin habit. He hit an audience member in the head with his bass while on that tour, and then after the 78 show in San Francisco, the group fell apart.
Oh my God. Okay, so bass to the face. Has anyone else in this little circle of us right now been hit in the face with a guitar?
I've hit myself in the face with the guitar.
I don't think so. Probably not.
I did once. I was at this like show and like the guitar player was like rocking out and then it just like was like swinging his guitar around and it just totally nailed me in the face. It was so funny though. Because it was totally an accident, and he, like, ran up to me afterwards. He's like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. Like, can I get you a drink? Like, I'm so sorry. That was pretty funny, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of feel cool.
Also terrible.
But also, like, not, like,
bad.
it's bad luck.
Yeah.
Or is it good luck? I don't know. I made a friend, so that's cool, I guess.
I know, it's dangerous when you're, like, standing really close and...
I know.
I'm always
Especially
like,
when you're over on that side of the
I'm always
rail.
like low-key afraid.
That's exactly what I was thinking of, yeah.
Low-key afraid. Like, whenever I'm, like, too close to the stage, I'm like, am I going to get hit in the face again?
Even when there's a lot of you on stage while you're playing, it's really easy to get, like, hit or trip over a chord or something. It can be dangerous, especially, like, if you take your shoes off, which I always did.
Yeah.
Okay, so the group fell apart, and Sid started his solo career at this point with Nancy acting as his manager. So the pair...
That sounds like a good idea.
Right.
Yeah.
The pair met in 1977 after Nancy, already known as a groupie and a prostitute in the punk scene, followed Jerry Nolan and Johnny Thunders of the Heartbreakers to London. They also brought heroin there, I read.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, kind of everything that I saw kind of made it out like she was the one that brought everybody the drugs. And I'm like, I don't think that like just some girl from like Pennsylvania is just like getting all these people already in bands into drugs. I'm sure they had their own like...
Right. It's easy to make a scapegoat out of somebody that's dead, I guess.
It really
Absolutely.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this quote that I read, though. It said the Heartbreakers brought heroin to England, to the England music scene and almost wiped out the punk scene.
Oh,
because it got so bad. Yeah.
Not surprised.
Yeah. So Nancy had a pretty rough start early on.
Yeah. I remember her mom wrote a book about her that I read like when I was in high school, and so then I just kind of like went back through and was, looking up stuff, and because I remember when I read it, I was like, wow, this is pretty intense. But so when she was born, she suffered oxygen deprivation to her brain because she was born with the umbilical cord wrapped around her neck. And then her mom also said that when she was a baby, she did nothing but scream, but like more than a baby should.
Like more than colicky babies?
Yeah. Like just 24/7, always screaming, like so much that the doctor actually prescribed a liquid barbiturate. Which, like they don't make those anymore because they're
especially for children.
Especially for infants.
I wonder if that's what inspired the whole during the entire movie. Sydney.
Maybe.
Right.
Yeah. It was weird because I watched a bunch of like interviews with them and stuff, and I never once heard her say that. It was more like a quiet, like, Sid, please get up.
Yeah, right? Like, they made her just, like, so ridiculous.
So obnoxious.
Yeah. Like, the one interview that I watched was, I don't know if you guys have seen it, because it's, like, one of the first things that comes up, where they're, like, in bed in the hotel. Like, he's, like, just nodding off the whole time, and she's kind of trying to, like, keep him together and, like, keep him, like, goes and gets some coffee and keeps, like, trying to wake him up. And, like, it totally seems like the more rational one, maybe, at that moment.
Right.
So she was kicked out of school when she was 11 and sent away to a boarding school. She was diagnosed with schizophrenia when she was 15 and did have a suicide attempt as well. So then she was kicked out of the University of Colorado because I think she was like smuggling stolen property like in her room or something. I'm not sure what exactly.
Tight.
So that was in 1975, and she was 17, and she moved to New York after getting kicked out of school. So yeah, I think that's where she met Johnny Thunders and everything, and then ended up following them on tour and met Sid.
So the two were nearly inseparable after meeting. The band hated her instantly, said due to her abrasive, crass behavior. They called her domineering and combative. She was banned from the U.S. tour, which I probably would have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I think that's like kind of like rule number one. Like in bands, it's like never
Don't
let your
bring-
girlfriend or boyfriend on tour.
Yeah.
Like never.
That's why it's weird when you hear about people that take their families.
Oh yeah.
That would be insane. to deal
I mean,
with
I guess I
that.
could see it like later in life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or like
like
just
you're,
if
like,
you're
old
if you're
people
Like
just
we're
playing the
like
same
we're this
songs you
band that's
always
been
have.
around for 30 years and we're all in our 60s or 70s and like we're just on the retirement run.
Yeah.
Like yeah, bring your family for that. That's fine. Like have a cookout in the
Or-
parking lot. Like no big deal. Nobody's like trying to like do crazy stuff.
I was gonna say, or if you have like a super nice tour like setup, which I assume that they probably didn't.
Still, nope,
Yeah.
nope. Because like every time I've gone on the road with a band and somebody's significant other comes, there's always drama.
Yeah.
It's always them fighting, and then it's like airing their dirty laundry in front of the whole band. And it's like not even anything that anyone's doing on purpose or anyone's bad. It's just obnoxious,
Just, like,
and I hate it.
A
So
little too much
yeah.
like private life.
so quote
It's
me
like
on this,
confined
like for the
spaces
rest of
a lot
my
of the
life.
time.
Like if I'm ever like, yeah, I'm gonna bring my boyfriend or husband or whatever on tour, just be like, bitch, you talked about this and we have it recorded, and you are not allowed to do that because it's a bad idea. All right, sorry, tangent over.
Sid was already a drug addict at that time.
yeah.
But it says that being introduced to heroin made him increasingly dependent on drugs and Nancy.
Yeah, it kind of everything that I was reading, which like once again, I know they were both total train wrecks, but they kind
Yeah.
of try to make it that just everything is Nancy's fault. Like, oh, like Sid
Yeah.
was so shy and sweet, and I'm like, he had a lot of violent tendencies, like
a lot of outbursts.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
fights
Like, you guys
and-
already like said a bunch of like even
Exactly.
already,
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
Or like after he was arrested for Nancy's murder, and he like the record label bailed him out, and then he like immediately went back to jail again because he attacked Patti Smith's brother with a beer bottle. So
jeez.
While watching Who Killed Nancy too, did you see the part about the cat?
I did not. I don't
Okay,
think I
maybe it
watched the
wasn't on
whole
that one.
thing.
I watched a couple,
I watched
so it might have
most
been a
of
different
it,
one.
But that sounds kind of familiar though. What's the thing with the cat? Is it going to make me super sad?
It's really sad.
That's
he
okay.
was. Do you want to hear it still?
Yeah, that's
okay.
fine. I'll be all right.
He was over at a friend's house and they were doing drugs and hanging out, and he took the cat, like the family cat, and hung it. Like he made a noose, hung it, and it suffered. It was a long thing. It like shit itself and pissed everywhere.
That's
and
terrible.
yeah. So I mean, if you can do that, you are probably capable of doing other terrible, violent things. I don't know.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. So let's see. The pair moved into the Chelsea Hotel on August 24th, 1978. Other famous hotel guests include Bob Dylan, Patti Smith, Jackson Pollock, Nico.
Cohen.
Have you
Muhammad
ever?
Ali.
Have you guys ever read Just Kids, like the book
Yeah,
by
yeah,
Patti
with Patti
Smith?
Smith.
Yeah.
It's really cool because it like talks a lot about like that book's kind of like her relationship with Robert Mapplethorpe. But it's really cool because she like talks about like living in the Chelsea and like how they were like artists and all this stuff and like all the beginnings of her career and his career, and it's I don't know.
Seemed like there were a lot of artists and then like struggling actors and junkies and
Yeah, because like the person like would like let them pay for their rooms with art and stuff like that. So it's like it was like kind of the spot for like all the people that weren't established at all to like
start out.
have a place to sleep.
I remember watching the Andy Warhol movie too, Chelsea Girls. Did you guys ever see that? Okay, yeah, it had Nico in it also. It was just like a short thing, but
Yeah. I was going to say, because weren't a lot of his movies just kind of like a shot of a building for like 4 hours. Or
Sometimes, or like someone getting a haircut or
yeah.
smoking a cigarette or something.
Yeah, like Edie Sedgwick getting her haircut on the steps outside.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So then the murder.
Yes.
October 11th. In the evening, the couple had a small party where Sid was seen taking 30 tablets of Tuinal?
Yeah, I'm not sure how you, again with barbiturates.
I know.
Like,
Also a dose that probably would have killed most people because
Yeah.
30 of anything sounds really extreme.
So obviously he was pretty used to it.
Yeah.
His the tolerance, obviously.
yeah.
Around 2:30 a.m., Spungen asked dealer Rocket's Red Glare.
Yes, that was the bodyguard.
Yeah, it was a
whoever.
Wait,
bodyguard.
his name is
Rocket Red Glare.
Yes.
What
not
the
awful.
fuck?
Very
That is
patriotic.
No, that is like the coolest name. That is like that guy needs to like be in the army or
Yes.
like do something really significant with his life other than like this sad story, you know?
Right.
Because like how would you not be like the guy that's teaching MMA fighting with a name like Rocket Red Glare? Like that's so ridiculous.
I think his real name was Michael something.
but
It
if
was
it's
his
so-
nickname, but still.
Still, doesn't really matter. Like, I'm just imagining karate pants on that motherfucker right now. Like, it's definitely all I'm seeing. So go on.
There were in that Who Killed Nancy documentary, there were a lot of people with cool names. There was a guy named Neon Leon.
Yeah.
And then the guy with like the cool hair, and then like they were talking to that one guy where his like only like credit, his name was Howie Pyro.
Yes.
And his like
He's
only,
in a band too, I
Oh,
think.
he is? Okay.
I think so.
Okay, yeah, because it said underneath his name, like it just said like original punk or something, but he looked really young. Like he looked like he couldn't really be any older than like 40. And they made that in like 2009. I was like, doesn't quite add up.
He
Like,
did look young still.
young.
Did you
Yeah.
guys ever have punk rock names?
I didn't know.
No.
You were Lindsay Sod
Yeah, that's true.
because you were in the Sods.
Mick Sod.
Lindsay Mixod.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess that kind of counts.
I like originally was Kendi Bogey, but then I think the one that stuck was like Kendi Overthrow because that sounds fucking tight.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good one.
But then it's really funny because if you Google that, because when you're 18 and you're bored, I'm like, oh, let me Google myself.
Right.
Apparently there was a dictator named Kendi that was overthrown. So it's kind of awesome
What?
that,
I didn't know that.
So that'd
Yeah.
be a good band name.
yeah. Well, yeah, the band was, I won't mention it on this, but yeah, it was just funny. So Overthrow was in the band name, of course.
Okay.
So it was around. You said around 2:30 is when she had asked.
Yeah,
Rocket
she
Red
wanted
Glare for
Dilaudid,
drugs.
which
Yes.
is an opioid painkiller.
Yep.
And then the next verified claim is that one of the neighbors heard moaning from the couple's apartment around 7:30 a.m.
And then it was about 10 when he did he call down to the desk?
Well, first
need
he got up around 8 and he woke up in blood, but didn't seem to think it was that big of a deal. And because he
Well,
was
they're
going to get
used
his,
to like throwing bottles and shit at people all the time. Like I would assume that blood
And
wasn't
after
like
you
too
take
uncommon.
like 30 tablets of
Well,
was it Tuinal?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he thought he had pissed himself because he was in so much blood. So, because it was, just wet everywhere. So he got up, saw her in the bathroom, and didn't think that she was dead at that point. So he went to go get methadone for both of them.
That's right. I did see that in the documentary.
And then he came
It actually
back,
showed
and
him,
then-
like, in the,
And that's when he actually discovered that she was dead.
Damn.
Yeah, she was stabbed once in the lower abdomen with a knife. And it was a slow bleed. She would have made it if anybody would have done anything about it.
If they weren't all passed out.
Right. Because she
Damn.
must have passed out too and just laid there and moaned, died.
Damn.
Should get up and go to the bathroom at some point. So there's also, I don't know if you guys saw this too, but at one point, it must have been before he took all the tablets, he got into a fight with the manager of the hotel that same night. I couldn't verify that, but there
Okay.
was.
Yeah, I didn't
They
know
had an
anything about
episode with
that.
that guy before he was passed out and seen by a lot of people passed out. He was arrested later that morning, and at first he confessed, but they said that he was pretty confused and out of it at that point because there was a lot of different stories. Where,
yeah, like one of them was like he said that he stabbed her, but he didn't mean to kill her.
Yeah.
And then it was like, I don't know what happened at all.
And then, he thought that she had attempted suicide. A lot of people seems to like seem to think that is still a very big possibility. 10 days after her death, he attempted suicide by cutting his wrist with a light bulb. He was arrested again on December 9th for the incident you were talking about with Todd Smith at a New York club. And then also something I couldn't verify, but I thought it was kind of interesting. They said that Mick Jagger paid for his lawyer.
I saw that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he never was like public about it or anything, at least not for a long time. So I guess he kind of like, if that did indeed happen, I guess a lot of people were like kind of praising him for not like, expecting like
press or anything for that.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
Because the band manager bailed him out both times, but
right,
which is weird that they let him out one, like after he had the incident after being suspected of murder. Usually, if someone has like a violent outburst at that point, they're like, "Oh, you're going to stay in jail until your trial," but they let him out for some reason.
I mean, well, it was like 70s, right?
Yeah.
Or was there 80s?
78.
Okay. Yeah, so it was like 1978, and he's a rock star. Like, I mean,
It's true.
they're a little bit more strict now, but not really.
Yeah.
Like, if you have money, you can do anything you want.
Well, even,
it was the
talking
record
about the
company
crime
that-
scene, they let people walk through it. There was a photographer that mentioned that he went in, he just wasn't allowed to take pictures, and he saw her body. So people were like traipsing in and out. And then that Rockets Red Glare, the guy that was seen with,
I'm going to laugh every time.
Like I feel like every time you say his name, we should have like a little or something, or like 5 seconds of the national anthem.
Yeah.
Like, light a sparkler in your heart.
Something.
For Rockets Red Glare.
But he had their money because they had a bunch of money from the song, the My Way cover that he did.
Yep.
And it was wrapped in her hair tie. So that ended up with that guy. So, I mean, did he come in after and take the money, or did he come in?
Was it
and
Rockets
kill
Red
her?
Glare that had that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff too. Did you see where they were talking about this mystery man?
Like the
Michael.
junkie or something that like
he had
lived
like an
two
S
doors
name.
up.
It was like it wasn't like
Because I heard
Snake
I
or
saw
Spunky
something
or
about
something
like
weird.
how he was the one that had money and stuff like that too.
which
I don't know. It was a guy that they had done drugs with.
that was the Rockets guy because he was
Okay.
supplying them. Sometimes they call him Michael, I believe. And that could be
Okay,
wrong, but
so
sometimes they
Michael
call him
and Rockets
Rocket.
Red
That
Glare,
makes
the same guy.
so
way more sense.
yes,
Yes. Okay. So then
I'm just like really disappointed that like the minimal research I did on this, because let's face it,
It was- you can't
I just like
find-
making commentary. I don't need to know things.
you can't find a lot that's verified.
Yeah, it
too.
was
There's like
really
a lot
hard.
of like, oh, this
It's just
person said
this
this, and this
hot
person said
mess.
that.
Like
It really is.
like it was just
yeah.
Wow.
Try to find a timeline.
Even that, that thing that I read about Rocket's Red Glare confessing to people when he was at CBGB, like
Yeah.
that was just the only like info I could find on that was Phil Strongman. He's an author. He wrote Pretty Vacant, The History of Punk. He said something about it, but I don't know like any of the circumstances or if that's even verified.
Yeah, he
It
took
was
off
just-
right after her death too.
Yeah. So
and
Seems
is
kind of
he
suspicious.
dead now?
I believe he is.
Because I think that was like the thing where they're like, well, we'll never be able to prove anything or have a trial about it because
Yeah.
everyone's dead.
Yeah,
Let's
he's
see.
still. At least when the documentary that I watched was filmed, he was still alive.
Okay.
He
That was
died in
unknown.
2001.
So I lied.
And he kind of looks like Gary Busey,
Oh my God, let's see.
That's
doesn't he?
isn't that what's his name though? What's his name? He's nominated for an Oscar.
Okay, so is that like
He
an
was
actor
in-
that was portraying him?
Yes, the guy.
Oh, is this like from Sid and Nancy or something? Like,
I don't know if that was. He's supposed to have like a really giant dick. And, yeah, like he
now
was
I'm
in.
fascinated. Like,
the guy that's nominated for an Oscar and has a really big dick.
Yes, hold on, I'm gonna look him up because he was also in Life Aquatic.
William Dafoe?
Yes, Willem Dafoe. That was Willem Dafoe.
Oh,
He has a big
no,
dick?
you're right.
Yeah,
it is.
they in
That is
that
Willem
movie.
Dafoe.
Is it Witch? He's in a movie, and they were gonna have like a sex scene, and they couldn't use his real dick because it was too big. That it that the
Too
director-
big for
for the movie. They thought it would look comical
wow.
because
Good. You know what? Good
for
on
you,
you,
Willem
William Dafoe.
Dafoe, yeah.
I know.
Like, congratulations. That's fascinating. I'm
Yeah.
like I don't want to think about William Dafoe's dick. No offense,
not
William
really.
Dafoe, but
He's a good actor.
but
though,
now
I
I'm
guess.
gonna like not be able to help myself. Like, thanks a lot. Thank you so much.
It's
for
like
letting
John
me-
Hamm, how they always talk about how he has like a giant bulge in his pants. And you have to look every time you see a picture.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah.
It's like that one picture that's just like straight up outlined.
Oh my god,
Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right. That was Willem Dafoe. I can't find a picture of Rocket's Red.
Yeah,
Red
I
Glare,
think
so
he
just
was
think he's
in one
gonna
of the
look like
documentaries, like kind of a chubby guy.
so I'm just
Nothing
gonna
really
think of him
special
as
about his
being
appearance.
like a Gary Busey, Willem Dafoe like combo.
I think that fits.
Yeah, that's fine. That's just how I'm gonna picture him in my mind.
I like that you think that Gary Busey and William Dafoe look alike.
I don't, but they have like the crazy hair.
I was gonna say in the
No,
picture,
for
in
sure.
the kind of like wild look about their
No, in that
eyes.
picture,
he
like,
looked-
you're
yeah,
justified.
Yeah.
I'm just like really
The one
happy.
with the big dick.
You learn something new every day.
Yes.
Yeah, apparently Rocket's Red Glare was in Desperately Seeking Susan. He was a stand-up comedian. He had all kinds of stuff.
Wow.
It was weird. Anyway.
Well, Sid died of a drug overdose soon after, on the evening of February 1st. He'd been clean during his stay at Rikers Island and had completed a methadone program. He OD'd twice that night. The first time his friends revived him and then took him home. And then this is where it gets fuzzy again because like you were mentioning that his mom
Yeah,
gave him the money.
yeah.
the
Like,
heroin.
that's what I read is like that his mom was the one that like helped him get the heroin or like gave him the money for it because he was broke and going through all this stuff. And she's like, oh well, he's having a hard time, so yeah, you can have some heroin, honey.
Yeah, Mother of the Year.
Henny.
Giving him heroin.
Henny.
But then I saw that she actually gave him the lethal dose, but once again, not confirmed anywhere.
But then
It's
again,
hard
like
to
this
get.
is like, I mean, I don't really feel like that's a far-fetched theory considering she was using him as a drug mule as a toddler.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's
what the hell?
totally believable story. Yeah, they were having the night that happened, they were having a party at his new girlfriend's house. Apparently he moved on kind of quick. But
Yeah, she
I mean,
was
you
kind
still
of like
gotta
a
get
Nancy
laid.
2.0.
yeah, she
She's
kind of
crazy though.
Yeah, she kind of looked like her a little bit. She had like dark hair though. She didn't quite have the same, but it was like
Yeah.
they sort of looked a little bit alike. But
That's sad.
let's see what else. So did he actually die like at the party, or was it like later he like went home or?
I didn't get
Yeah.
the location.
Yeah, I
just
didn't know
that,
if like you were able to find any more details, than
Yeah, it was
than
hard to
I
find
was.
anything consistent, but just that his mother took part in it somehow, and that
Yeah.
it happened the evening of February 1st. And she actually found his dead body too.
Yeah.
Ultimate enabler.
Yeah. And then they that's why they made that Who Killed Nancy documentary in the first place, because I guess so his mom committed suicide in 1996, and she had asked this filmmaker Alan Parker to kind of clear her son's name. and
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
that.
because she was convinced until the day that she died that he was innocent and that he didn't kill her.
Which once again, if you're like hanging cats up and
I know.
not a
I
far
know.
fetch.
See, that's why I'm like wondering. It's like, did he do it?
Yeah.
Like,
I think he did.
do you?
I do. I mean, it wouldn't be surprising to
Plus,
hear that it
it's
was like a
like-
drug murder also, or that she killed herself. Because
Like,
Yeah,
I think
honestly,
it's also
none of
kind
the
of
theories are
packed
really
at
too
some
surprising or
point.
far-fetched, I don't think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like whether he did or he didn't. Like, I think it's kind of weird that it's like this like glorified thing where it's like there's a dead woman,
yeah.
but everyone like it just feels so typical that everyone's trying to clear the dude's
Right,
name.
of course.
And like, and I get it. Like, if he didn't do it, that sucks, and I'll take my words back. But I mean, we'll never fucking know.
Seems like
You know
he
what I
didn't
mean?
even really know for sure what happened. I do think that was real.
Yeah, and
But-
like, what did he stab her with? Like, what was she stabbed with? Was it a knife or was
Yeah.
it
It was a
okay?
knife.
And I guess it was, did you read anything about like it was the same knife that he saw Dee Dee Ramone give to somebody as like
Yeah.
a gift? And he's like, oh, I want one
He
too.
wanted that knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so. It was like with his knife.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
But
Which, I
then
mean,
you
if somebody
wonder
came in
how
and
much
had
they
it with them,
investigated
they
that.
can-
Like maybe they just saw that knife somewhere. I don't know if they actually, found it with her blood on it or if they even tested,
Yeah.
anything.
So basically, whoever was in charge of that murder investigation really fucked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna
just
say we have like a
botched
botched
it.
crime scene, which is super common too. I mean, like the John Benet Ramsey thing, they let
I
so many
know.
people into the house.
Yeah.
And so I mean, that's something that, still happens pretty regularly.
So sad because
but-
even if they do collect evidence, a lot of times you hear about the evidence getting lost or
Yeah.
contaminated somehow or goes missing.
Yep.
So sad.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Especially I'm sure there's drugs everywhere.
Yeah. Then it was filthy. Their apartment was like disgusting. There was food and trash and it smelled and dead person in the bathroom.
Yeah,
So.
I don't know how many junkies you guys know, but that sounds about right. Like, not the dead person in the bathroom, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's sad.
I think they showed that well in the movie, like the filth that they were living in and the other people.
Yeah,
Just remember that scene where they're like all eating the beans
Oh,
first thing in the
so
morning,
gross.
just so gross.
I know. I was just about to say something about that. I was like,
That whole
scene
movie
always made
grosses me out.
It's so gross.
I know.
It's so
I have a hard
gross.
time watching any of those heroin
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
Me too.
I don't know.
Between
It
Spotty
still
and-
blows my freaking mind that heroin has such a big comeback right now.
I know.
It's dude,
'Cause it's not particularly
it's not
glamorized in
No.
Well, same with meth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. I mean, I feel like a lot of other drugs and stuff can kind of be glamorized. I can see how they
Yeah.
can kind of look but
Yeah,
things
that, everybody
it's
thinks
just
that cocaine is all classy or whatever, but then it's then you have the crackheads,
Right.
It's
See somebody smoking it on a corner, and you're like, oh, I guess not.
no,
Yeah.
nope,
yeah.
yeah,
Sorry, I think that was kind of worded weirdly, but you guys know what I mean.
Yeah,
totally, totally.
It's
No,
definitely
you're right.
not
No, it's
portrayed as a
hilarious,
super glamorous sort of.
No, there's ads from back in the day, that were in magazines of cocaine gear, for the classy house party.
Oh, and remember the jewelry with the little Coke
Little
spoons?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And
For
little
sure.
rings that you could use as a scoop.
Yep. I remember
crazy.
watching that. What movie was that with Sarah Michelle Gellar and
Oh.
Ryan Felipe and Cruel Intentions.
Yes.
Yeah.
She had that. Her little Catholic schoolgirl cross thing was full of coke.
Yeah. It's
I
kinda,
remember I
portrayed
used to
as,
have a poison ring, and I was but I never did pills or anything, so it was kind of pointless for me to have this cool ring that held shit in it. But I just
Yeah.
I have a thing for secret compartments.
I like secret stuff too. I
Yeah.
really want to have a house someday that has a room behind a bookshelf.
Absolutely.
Did you
Or
read
something.
Babysitter's Club a lot when you were younger?
No,
Okay,
but
because one of them, she lived in a 200-year-old farmhouse, and one of the books is entirely about how she finds this secret passageway that was part of the Underground Railroad or something. So I remember walking around my house because I lived in a pretty old house when I was
checking
growing up, and pushing on the walls and checking everything. So I thought maybe you did the same thing.
In Indiana, I feel it wouldn't be for the Underground Railroad. It would definitely be for bootleggers, though.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'd be that'd be tight. Yeah. If I ever own a home, there will be some alterations done to make my lifelong dream of weird secret compartments come true.
Yeah, I definitely want to either bury something in the yard too or hide something in a wall. It doesn't even have to be valuable, but so then somebody will find it someday and question. I don't know.
Why is this in such an intricate box? This
Right.
is literally just a toothbrush.
I get super excited to open it up, and it's just well.
That's what happened to the murder weapon. Somebody was I have an eccentric idea.
So, did you guys read anything about his ashes? Because there's also
No.
multiple stories about his ashes. Because he wanted them scattered on. Well, he wanted to be buried by Nancy,
But she's in a Jewish cemetery.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did they do with his ashes?
So that Howie Pyro guy claims that he snorted them.
Oh.
So that's great.
Oh,
and then
man.
Maybe that's why he looks so young. Maybe they have
It was
powers to keep
yeah.
you.
That's there's
Like
that
eternity.
black metal band, and the one dude blew his brains out, and then there's so many rumors going around about what happened to the dude's brains, and it's that everybody in the band had
JFK's
pieces
brain.
of them.
Gross.
Or yeah, I mean, but it's also a black metal band.
gonna say,
So it's
that's
like,
pretty-
they're gonna like definitely go for all the crazy rumors.
But then also, once again, his mother comes in looking great. She supposedly dropped his ashes at the airport, Heathrow Airport, and just like spilled him. So
That's rough.
yeah.
What really happened was portrayed on The Big Lebowski. That part of that movie is so funny.
But yeah, so either he was snorted and dumped on her grave, or he was dumped at the airport.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
I just feel like all of it's just sad.
It is. They
what a
neither one
pointless
really had a
waste.
chance.
Yeah, she was 20 and he was 21.
Yeah.
Oh man,
God.
we're all idiots at that age.
I know.
Sure, yeah.
For sure. Really good times, but man, all the aggression.
So I don't know, Kendra, based on your limited research, what do you think is
my non-existent.
your
reason.
non-existent research?
I'm the one, just in case you will figure this out if you listen to more than this. I'm the one that doesn't do anything, but just thinks I have a lot of opinions. So the other two ladies on this podcast are rock stars when it comes to doing their job and allowing me to this bullshit.
It's really just nerding out on Wikipedia and other websites.
Yes. I mean, like, I know some stuff, like, it just because I love music. So
Yeah.
I'll nerd
Yeah, and you
out
knew a
about
lot
stuff.
about the
Everybody has
band.
something to contribute. So.
Yeah, I love the Sex Pistols.
I was gonna say you were always like more because she and I kind of like grew up in the little like scene together and everything, but you were always like more like on the Sex Pistols than I was. Like I was just
For
kinda
sure.
Like,
You're more
no,
Clash.
whatever. I love the Clash way more. Yeah,
like the
Yeah.
Clash.
Clash.
I was
But
like, yeah, I guess I went more of the street punk route. Like I remember getting my first Sex Pistols CD from my friend that always kept a copy of the CD in his car just in case someone in the scene didn't have a copy. So that's how I got on the Sex Pistols kick. And then, yeah, it quickly progressed from like Sex Pistols and the Misfits and like all that stuff, like the early like punk stuff and Richard Hell and the Voidoids, to then it was just like Crass and anarcho punk, and then just really went to aggressive hardcore after that. And now it's kind of come full circle. Now I'm in like more of a proto punk band, but yeah, I don't know. But Sex Pistols, sorry, I'm like so distracted today. But yeah, no. They have a deep place in my heart. I have like a second pressing of like their UK release on vinyl, so that's my nerd moment for that. But I think he killed her.
Yeah.
That's basically where I'm at.
Yeah, like I said, like none of these theories are really all that far fetched. I mean,
Yeah. Could go with any of them.
What do you guys think?
I think he killed her.
I think so too. I don't, I don't know if he necessarily like. I mean, I can see it as just kind of like a, not intending to murder, but just fucking around with a knife, being like, oh, like like when people just like carve shit into their chests, and like, I can
Right.
definitely
Yeah.
see just like. Yeah, I don't really know. I guess that sounds kind of silly, but if he was like on as many drugs as what they say,
Yeah,
then,
he
Yeah.
was like aware of at that point.
yeah, I can.
I've seen
definitely see
people
him
like
sort of
lose their
unaware
shit when they're
and-
like messed up on stuff too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I've
just,
been
like,
to a lot of
agitated easy.
really sketchy parties in my life.
Yeah.
And I've seen some really bad stuff. Yeah, so like yeah, because like when you're that gone, like you don't know what you're doing half the time. But that's not an excuse. That's a life,
right,
you know.
right.
But at the same time, it doesn't sound like there was like a history of him like being an abuser, which I think is
Yeah.
why like it kind of threw everybody for a loop, because they're like, wait, no, this guy's like nuts about this chick. Like they
Yeah.
love each other, but I mean, drugs bad, okay? Like it's kind of where it's at.
Oh, and I actually, it crossed my mind that, so today's February 3rd. He died
Oh,
on
yeah.
February 2nd. So it is 40 years ago yesterday.
That's
Holy
crazy.
crap!
Yeah, so
I didn't
was
even
like,
think about that.
Yeah, no, I just because when I was watching, was it yesterday that I was watching a little bit of that documentary? I was like, huh, that's today.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So,
Very weird.
Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Oh man, can you imagine reliving that day?
I know. My God.
Ugh.
So tonight we're drinking lemon water.
Yeah.
That's the cocktail of choice tonight.
Yes.
Because we are tired and we need hydration.
Yep. Lindsay had a birthday party last night, so we're in recovery mode.
Feeling a little bit of pain today. Actually, I feel pretty okay. I feel all right.
I feel good too. Activated charcoal is no joke. That stuff is really great for hangover prevention. Just putting that out there.
Give us endorsements.
That's
Pay for us.
I also use it to brush my teeth.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Does that work pretty well?
Yeah.
With like whitening and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
can see
makes
that.
your sink an absolute nightmare mess.
Oh, I'm
but
sure. Yeah.
It's pretty
Does work
funny
well.
though. And
Charcoal's
you also
pretty good
look
for
like
your
really
skin, too.
creepy when you do it.
I know, yeah, because you have the like gross stuff in between your teeth.
It's pretty fun. I like it.
I agree.
40 minutes.
Oh, perfect. Are you guys, before we go, I forgot to do it last time, but are you guys like listening to anything cool, watching, reading anything worth checking out?
I have been still on this rabbit hole of just watching a lot of Asian TV shows. So that's what I've been watching. Listening, I think I decided that I wanted to make a playlist on Spotify like that is would like if your life was a movie, what would the soundtrack be?
That's a good
And
idea.
it's not like the songs that you love, but songs that like fit the moment. So I've been kind of on a kick of just listening to really, really random stuff that I don't normally listen to and making this like stupid soundtrack for my life. So that's been fun. So I've been like actually revisiting a lot of stuff I listened to when I was younger, which has been really fun.
Kendra's like queen of playlists. Like you have a lot
I
of
really
the-
enjoy making them.
I always
Yeah,
have the
yeah.
idea and then I never actually do it and regret it later.
Well, you can follow me
so
on
I
there
forget.
and you can listen to my playlist. I try to make
to do
one per
that.
season every year.
Yeah,
Oh,
I just
that's
played
such
like
a good
her
idea.
old like party playlist last night, and it was like went over pretty well. I think.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Got everything from Wu-Tang to Liars on there. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good.
But
What about you?
what are you listening to or
Um,
watching?
I just finished watching that new thing on Netflix, The Trigger Warning with Killer Mike.
Type.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's like he like the first episode he has to spend 3 days only using products, eating food, transportation, all that stuff like just by like black people, like black business owners. So like he like is super hungry and he like goes to this like barbecue place. It's like owned by a black family, but then he's like, hold on a second, did this food come from a black owned farm? And they're like, no. So like he can't eat it.
Yeah.
And then there's another episode where he talks about like the Hell's Angels are a gang and they like make money off like merchandise and stuff. He's like, well, why can't other gangs do that? So he like gathers a bunch of Crips and they make a soda and like try to market it and stuff. It's super, super funny. Or like in another one, they try to start a new religion. Like it's really good. It's like 6 episodes, but
That sounds dope.
It's awesome.
I love him.
yeah, you would love it.
What about you?
Yeah, I've been listening to, I love this podcast, Astonishing Legends. I've been listening to that and listening to the, it's an 80s band from England called Stone Roses. I love them.
Yes.
And been listening to that a lot and watching True Detective.
Very
I like
fun.
the new
They're all
season.
great things, yeah.
Yeah.
I've never watched True Detective.
I
I've heard
watched
it's really good.
most of season 1, which is pretty good. I don't know why I didn't stick with it. And then I didn't watch any of season 2, but season 3 is really good. It has the actor from Moonlight. I can't pronounce his name, but he's so good in everything he's in.
Excellent.
And Steven Dorff's in it too. And he's doing okay. So, we never know what to expect from him. He's all right.
Like
But he's doing a really good job in this.
same guy that was like in Blade, and
Yeah.
then he was in that Sofia Coppola movie.
Yeah, where he played himself.
Yeah, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Crazy.
And I remember watching a random movie too where he was locked in a trunk, I think. And he was like that. It was the whole movie. He carried the movie pretty well. But, another one of those. There was also one with like Ryan Reynolds where he was buried alive. I don't know. I watched all
wow.
these stupid
so you
stuff.
might have a thing for confinement.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Interesting.
But yeah, that's funny. I listen to that Stone Roses album all the time too.
So
and
good.
and then they were one of those bands that just had like the one like really, really great album.
Yeah.
And then after that it was just kind of like
okay.
Also, do you remember when you made me go see Harry Potter with you at Fullinger. And
Yes.
do you remember where like they showed like a guy like sitting in like the pub or something, like that one scene, and I was like, I think that was Ian Brown, like from the Stone Roses. Like he has a cameo in a Harry Potter
There's so
movie.
many people that have
because I looked it
cameos.
up and it was him. Yeah.
Which movie is it? Is it
What was the one we went to go see? I don't know anything.
Oh, we
about
went
Harry
and
Potter.
saw The Prisoner of Azkaban.
Okay, yeah, I know exactly what part you're talking about.
He's in
But
it.
you also guys, like, just
Is
so
it
you
at the
guys
Leaky Cauldron, I
know.
think?
What's that?
Is it I'm probably not right, but is the place called the Leaky Cauldron?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but just so you guys don't get the wrong idea, Lindsay does not care about Harry Potter.
I know what you're gonna say.
I love Harry Potter.
I know what
One
you're gonna
time we were watching, I was like, she came downstairs and was like, oh yeah, I'll watch this movie with you. And it was The Half-Blood Prince. And
It's one of the best ones.
And it was during, like, Dumbledore's falling out of the motherfucking tower.
Yeah.
I
And
kinda
she
looked
just
crushing, like,
looks
everyone's
up from her
hearts.
phone, and I'm like crying. She's like, "Bye, bitch." I was like, "What?" And I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Oh, is he dead or something?" I'm like, "I hate you so much."
She's like, this is like the point where like everybody gets super emotional and you just look up and go, bye. I just saw somebody falling. I didn't know it was Dumbledore. I didn't know.
It was so funny. I mean, I was just like, I don't know, like, how are we best friends?
You like looked at me, you're like, you're heartless. You're heartless.
Your soul is black. Like, you have no soul.
I knew you were going to say that. As soon as I mentioned Harry Potter, I was like, she's
Damn it.
She's gonna call me out. It was really funny. It's yeah.
So what are we talking about next time? Have we...
Still to be decided.
To be determined.
All right.
Yeah, so you guys are
so-
just going to have to wait.
So this has been our music Oddcast, and we hope you join us for our next episode, which we will talk about something we haven't decided on yet.
Yep.